there's a caveat in the labor law that talks about obligation. All right.
Okay.
And in this obligation, it says that a company is obligated to provide work for staff to do. What this means is, for instance, I come on the 1st of October. You employ me.
Yes.
You don't give me any work to do. I am in your office till 31st of October. And you now tell me cock and bull story that, you see that after all, you didn't do anything now, so we will not pay you. I have every right to sue you. If you check today, we don't have in Africa a lot of businesses that have lasted up to 100 years, apart from Alabukun. Right? Yes, apart from Alabukun. That's the only business that's lasted over 100 years. And that's because these bosses think that they are lord and masters of everybody.
I get you.
So now you are not even, I shouldn't be scared to actually diplomatically approach my bosses sometimes.
Hi viewers, it's your girl Christiana. As you can see, my voice is terrible, my voice is bad. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be on this particular episode today. However, we've got our powerful Rachel and many others on set. So I'll be right behind the scene. But if the thing pepper me, if the story enter my head, I feel just jump on set. So on that note, please have fun and do what? Enjoy yourself.
Is Christiana thinking that I will miss her for me? I will not miss you. I will not. We are going to have fun regardless without Christiana.
Tell her. Tell
Who are
them.
you?
Tell
I will turn against you.
Don't worry now.
We are going to be diving right into our story today. This is a case of buzzwords, like everything while happen. So I'm just going to go straight in so we can analyze and everybody can start putting their comments and we know where we are going from here. So Anonymous is saying, I am a manager in a factory into mass production, ready to wear mass production precisely. With over 70 staffs, they had cutters, stitchers, quality control, store managers, and the likes. There was a particular day. The staff resumed at 8 a.m., but work didn't start till 12 p.m. due to a faulty generator, which was not fixed till 12 p.m. Being a ready-to-wear factory, they obviously used industrial machines that wouldn't work without light. So they couldn't work till the generator was fixed. Due to this, the boss, that's the Oga, the MD of the organization, chose that the workers, the staff, work till 8 p.m. Nobody is permitted to leave the premise by 5 p.m. 5 p.m. is their normal close of business, but you can't leave till 8 p.m. to cover up for lost hours, as they had an urgent delivery for customers. The staff became agitated, normal, everybody wants to go home. But this Oga was not having it. He had the HR lock the gate with padlock and held the key, according to the Anonymous. I locked the gate with padlock and held the key on the instruction of the boss. But a particular staff requested to call her husband to tell him about the happenings. She did that. Not long after, about 6 p.m., the husband was at the gate requesting to take his wife home. But the boss refused. He kept banging the gate and creating the scene. But Anonymous was forced to just open the gate for the wife to go home against the boss' directives. The next day at work, Anonymous got a mail, that is the HR, got a mail from the boss instructing that the staff should not be paid for that day, that's the previous day. And if the Anonymous refused to carry out this order, the Anonymous will be penalized. If the Anonymous chooses to pay the staff, the Anonymous will be the one paying the amount. That's the HR that is sending in this story. Said, though I tried to have advise him this fateful day, not to make this decision, but he was adamant. Now the challenge is, there has been different times that our anonymous storyteller has taken bullets and believes that it's not just okay, he cannot continue. Obviously, he don reach here, he don choke anonymous, he choke. So anonymous is asking us, how do I resolve this thing? Because he don choke me, who dem go debit? Make say as this debit is flyer, nobody should touch my money.
Thank you.
That's my own.
Thank you, Badimi. Well, I would like us. Should I start my own wahala? Because
Which wahala?
no, I read the story. I enjoyed what you did with the story, right? Or whoever brought the story. My point is, who sent? Why is she fighting?
Why is who fighting? We have
Your
to
boss is giving you an instruction.
Okay.
Any day, your boss is your boss.
know.
Why are you trying to do savior, superhero, and all that? Let her take the battle, the disgruntled staff. Let her take the battle up with the boss. Your boss said, lock this, do this, and you are saying,
The battle is of the Lord.
So
Who
let me
can
tell you.
battle
Let
with
me
the Lord?
wait. Let me tell you now. You see, plus you talking, plus the boss, plus the HR, they should lock all of them. Now, there's something I need you to know, right? There's something called. There's a caveat in the labor law that talks about obligation. All right.
Okay.
And in this obligation, it says that a company is obligated to provide work for staff
Yes.
to do. What this means is, for instance, I come on the 1st of October. You employ me.
Yes.
You don't give me any work to do.
Mhm.
I am in your office till 31st of October. And you now tell me cock and bull story that, you see that after all, you didn't do anything now, so we will not pay you. I have every right to sue you. Now, it is not the staff's fault,
Yes.
all right, that there was any fault whatsoever with the light and also the machine, whatsoever the case was.
Okay.
It wasn't the staff fault for them not to have started work as at the right time. Okay. So now the boss has no right whatsoever, no right under heaven and earth to
Okay.
lock. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means?
First, you first.
Let me tell you.
Wait now.
That boss is a
He's going to
kidnapper.
beat the boss.
He's a kidnapper. Yes. You are keeping them against their own will. What do you mean locking the door?
The one you first enter law, come back.
Yeah,
Rules
so
inside government, come back. All those ones that now you are saying something about provide work and everything. Fine.
yes.
I hope you know about different types of wages. Where we have the piece rate wage, where
Of course.
your payment is based on your outcome.
Yes.
Okay, you understand. And
Of
we have the
course.
one when it's based on hourly, like all these are Japa brothers. Now hourly work they do it. They go
Yes.
there. Now my point is this. Now the fault is not also of the boss in some sense. It is the machine or the generating set. It's allowed to happen.
Yeah.
Now there is maybe a deliverable, maybe there's a timeline, there's a deadline they need to meet. I feel the employees at some point should be able to empathize with the boss. Like, we have a client.
Exactly.
So what are you now saying?
So-
Now, I'm sure he locked the gate because he knew these guys they too
Okay,
like
That's
now,
what-
please
that's what I'm
hold your
telling you.
thoughts. I'm
Okay.
just going to say that there's the place for you feeling for the person owning the business.
Thank you.
Like, you have
Thank
to
you.
put yourself in the shoes. You have a deliverable. There's a deadline. There's a customer that needs something.
Thank you.
Just put yourself in the shoe and do
Fantastic. I
that.
like
Would you
the
have
way.
died?
Sorry,
I like-
carry on,
I
carry
like-
on,
I
carry
like
on,
the-
go law.
No.
Carry on,
I like the
go
angle you guys are coming from, right? I love the angle. But have you heard of something called corporate psychopath?
This guy do the
No.
Hey!
Corporate psychopath. Hold on.
Corporate.
Corporate psychopath. See, let me paint two scenarios for you in this case.
Okay. I did hear you.
Scenario one, there's no lights. We didn't start work at the right time. I reach out to the staff, all right, through the HR. We're sorry, because of this time strain, please, constraint rather, we might stay longer than our usual time. Scenario one. Scenario two, what this rubbish boss did. Okay? Which will you choose? If you are the staff in that case, hold your
Yeah.
thoughts. Just hold your thoughts. Now, all I'm trying to say is, coming from that angle of the corporate psychopath, there are ways to actually met out certain conditions.
Yes.
There's a way you will talk to your staff. There's a way you will make them reason with you. See, let me tell you, in the world of work, whether you like it or not, once I've signed the contract, my time says this time to this time. Now you have told me that, okay, there are people who There are people who,
owning the organization. Like,
of course, but then it is not also my fault. Do you know if I have other things to do after 5 o'clock?
See, I would like
So
to
why will you keep me?
The business should suffer. Everybody should.
I would
So
like- I would like
you're not
to-
getting my
I
point.
get
You're
your
not
point.
getting my
I
point.
get your point.
It is the onus is on the boss, right?
Yes.
To tell and communicate
Which
to
he
the
did.
staff. No,
Which you did.
no,
See.
No.
Rachel.
No.
Now where I want to enter
No.
with this. Now,
no.
He did.
the story says I follow the story because
I also follow the story. I also follow the story.
Thank you. We follow us together.
Okay.
Now he said the boss communicated due to this. My boss insisted no one should close until 8 p.m. Did not say okay, so it was an aggressive way of
No.
communication
See,
and all that. Now, do you know it's possible?
there's
for
an
us
action word there.
Wait now.
Insisted.
Wait,
Ah,
Sagaita.
insisted.
That action word
Ogaita.
insisted is already telling me the kind of person, the kind of crackhead that boss is.
I can
I'm telling
wait.
the boss is a crackhead,
I
a
can-
kidnapper.
I can
You
insist-
lock the gates.
Rachel,
Who are you?
I can insist for you in a very, very polite manner. Like,
No.
Please stay now.
Yes, nah.
You see,
Please stay
the
now.
moment you lock
I'm
the gate,
polite. But
Ah.
I'm insisting.
Anonymous,
Stay
speak
now.
up.
I did not
Industrial
See, I'm
court, if
going
they
to-
step into this, that boss.
I'm going to say something.
Yes.
Okay.
You think they call me
No,
Oga
Oga
Chafo?
Icha, do
You
you
think
want
they
to
call me
do
Oga
lawyer
Icha
before
for-
they not give you
I
admission?
No.
They not give you admission to
No,
study.
no.
Can
See,
you picture that?
let me even tell you. For the fact that you are even in HR, all right,
Mhm.
it means that you're already a lawyer.
True.
Yes,
To an
because
extent.
to a large extent, you are fighting for the rights of your employees.
Not always.
Yeah, yes.
No,
Not
to a large
always.
extent.
To a large, he
Because
said,
your
he said,
employees are
leave
not
him. He
always
said,
right.
Yes,
to a large extent.
definitely.
He said to a
So,
large
okay,
extent.
yeah.
Maybe free him.
that point where you are even in the middle trying to meddle between
Balance.
your boss,
Mhm.
finding the balance, right?
Employers and employees.
Yes. If you don't even know the law to start with, I mean, for the fact that we go to some extent to study the law, know what the law is saying
Yeah.
and all of that, yeah, it makes
So
us.
you don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come from this angle.
Please,
This is actually a ready-to-wear mass production factory.
yes.
You are actually dealing with people with blue-collar jobs
Mhm.
that might not be so reasonable.
Mm.
And you do not know, yes, they might not be so reasonable. And you do not know what has happened in the past.
Thank you.
So scenarios like that could have happened in the past that led to a fight, to a riot, to something. Let's just contain it.
Imagine you're
Let
the
me lock
boss.
the gate.
I also
Let's all be
I
here.
like this angle you're coming from. All right, you know why?
Because you are bringing
If
bullets.
no, that's not the case. Do you know that some staff?
Mhm.
Because I don't like it when people sound derogatory to blue collar workers.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, they are humans.
Nobody is
Wait,
saying
no.
that.
The
I'm
reasonable is in the
no.
context.
I'm
No,
going
I will
somewhere.
support
no.
my annual
I am
revenue
going
sheet.
somewhere.
No,
in the
no.
You
context.
made a comment.
No, I'm going to counter what
No.
you
You
said.
made a comment.
Rachel,
Allow me
Priya,
land.
Priya,
Allow me
Priya.
land.
Okay.
You said blue collar workers, and
Yes.
the next thing you use to support that
Unreasonable
statement.
in
Wait,
some context, nah.
you use something to support that statement. They might be unreasonable.
Might.
Yes.
Unreasonable in
And
another
I'm telling you that if you were talking about white collar workers, you might not even use that thing to support
in
it.
some other context.
See, people
Yes.
just no.
Yes, in some
See, this is where I'm
context,
coming
they
from.
can be
This is where I'm
unreasonable.
coming from. People always just see guys in that blue collar space as people that don't have sense.
No.
No. Calm down now. Calm down.
Oga, we are
I'm going
calm.
somewhere.
We are
I'm
calm.
going somewhere.
Make it.
So this is what I'm trying to say. You inferred, right?
Yes.
That maybe they were acting up before, and that's
Yeah.
why the boss insisted to lock the gate. What if all of this time before that particular incident, what if the boss has never ever been good to them? Because have you also read cases where people, staff, give more time to the company and not even get paid overtime?
True.
So why don't we
True.
want to? Yes. So why
So
don't
I
you want to
agree.
bring all of
but
this to
I'm
the
still
fore?
going back to the point of you saying I inferred they are always unreasonable, or there's some kind of hold on, or there's some kind of sentiment you attach to blue collar workers. What I'm just trying to say is, if you're an HR person that has worked with blue collar people and worked with white collar people,
There's a
you can agree with me that hold on, please. Let me make this point. You can agree with me that managing them is not the
It's not.
easiest
I
thing to do.
know. I
You have
know.
to make them understand some things.
I know.
Do you get
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
I know.
That's the angle I'm coming from.
Yes.
Because have you ever managed dispatch riders?
I've worked. Wait now. I
Have
don't want
you
to even.
managed
I don't want to
dispatch
even
riders?
mention. I don't want to even mention the name of the
This
company.
life we tire
Now
you.
I've worked in one of the biggest e-commerce companies, all right? And I'm telling you that a larger percentage, in fact, that particular arm of the business holds 31% of the population of the business. We have truck drivers, we have dispatch riders, dispatch riders are we talking to? I'm trying to give you some form of training and you're telling me that, Oga, I don't want to do dispatch riding again. I want to be driving bus. Why? Because if I ride my bike, I see spirits. So see, I'm telling you that I've managed these people, but I'm also telling you that because I am coming from a place of authority in some sense,
Yes.
I have managed them in the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And the
All right?
ugliest.
Yeah, okay. Another
In
thing.
the good, the bad, and the ugly, they are still humans. There's a way you will talk to them, and I'm telling you that they will stay up to 10 p.m. But
Hey.
yes.
No.
There's something we call stock count in e-commerce, right? Any day you are doing stock count, okay, you stay longer than your normal time.
Yes.
You're supposed to stay 8 to 6 p.m., for instance.
Yes.
The day of stock count, you know that you're not leaving the office till like 9 p.m.
Are there consequences if you don't stay?
No!
Okay.
There are not consequences.
Rachel.
And they are staying.
They are not wait now. No, see,
Rachel,
this is wait. Allow me even finish. Allow me even finish this. Let me finish this. Now, this stock count, right? All you are trying to do is we have brought these goods, this item,
Yes.
to the warehouse.
Yes.
So we want to try as much as possible to make sure that everything fits into the warehouse. Not just fitting into the warehouse. We know the number of items that you have received. Okay. Now, if you don't stay till the end of that stock count, what it means is if anything goes missing, for instance, you're going to pay for it.
Why
Right?
you don't go stay? Who born you well?
No, but I'm telling you now that there are some people that are actually responsible, and they're even the white collar guys that are responsible for that action, the auditors. But these blue collar guys will stay because at the end of the day, they are the packers, they are the loaders.
If it goes missing,
I
you
think
hold them responsible.
another
I hold the auditors
Oga,
responsible.
Oga,
And the auditor
Oga,
holds them responsible.
Rachel,
Yeah, no,
Rachel,
Then we stay. If something
wait.
is at stake,
I feel
that's my
we're looking at the employment contract from the perspective of okay, yes, what is on print.
Mhm.
Both the employer and the employee, we need to understand that sometimes, in most cases, we need to be able to, for diplomatic reasons, go beyond the 5 is my time. But imagine I'm working on an eatery, right? And I am to serve a client. I'm about to hand him his pizza or what hot dog or drink,
Yes,
and it's
yes.
$500, and I drop it. And $5 I carry come out. It doesn't work that way.
Mhm.
Sometimes you need to go beyond. That's one thing I want us to understand
Definitely.
when approaching this
Definitely.
particular story.
Definitely.
So the thing is, when you know, they were fully aware that there is a particular person waiting for that merch or for that deliverable, right?
Mhm.
And it was not duly that okay, the employer came and he just stopped them from working for no reason. The generator, nobody has charge over things like that. It could be
Mhm.
spirit, it could be anything. Stop working. And understand with me now, there's no place in that place that said, okay, the boss talk to them anyhow. I can tell you, I can be as polite as I can lie down for employees. And they go see, what's they go do? They go see do.
You are just,
you lie down, you know,
you are also just painting. You are just also painting a scenario that might not happen. But
What
I'm telling
scenario
you,
might
I don't understand.
I'm telling you.
I've seen bosses that were
let me tell you.
nice and employees took them for
See,
granted.
I know.
There's no
I know.
employee in this life.
But let me tell
There's
you,
no employee in this life
In
that
this-
you will tell to stay
in this age
after
and
their
time,
closing time.
That's
And they will stay
especially these blue collar guys, they've seen where a lot of their colleagues have been fired without reason sometimes.
And we've seen where
Alright.
a lot of employers or
So-
employees are taken for granted. Even no matter
True.
see,
And let
True.
me make this point.
in,
You
in,
don't
in,
know
in
where
the
it's going.
theory of the employment contract or whatever, human beings, employees, is a theory about that. Naturally, do not want to work. Factor that in when you're talking about this scenario.
Mhm.
So now, for me now say, okay, yes, so you guys should do. The boss can even have a plan to even compensate. Because I've seen cases like that.
The boss can even have a plan. Most times
Most
most
times
times they
they
don't
get paid
compensate.
over time.
they don't.
They get paid over time.
Most times
the
they
only
don't.
thing you can say is
They
that
don't.
Sit down,
Let me
no,
tell you.
sit down, wait,
if
she call her
If a
husband
blue
to come
collar,
beat her
let me
boss.
tell you, no, he didn't call her husband to come and beat her
Why
boss.
did she call
What
her
if they are
husband?
going?
Husband,
What
they
if they are
bag
going
it.
for a medical
He dey bag
appointment?
it. He dey bag it.
What if they are going for a medical appointment? What if they are trying to do they are trying to have
By
a child or
6
something,
PM,
and
they
they
are
are going
going for
to.
medical
Yes.
appointment.
You would have. I'm
The
very
time they are
sure.
going for their
I'm
medical,
very sure.
the
I'm very
time they
sure.
are going for their medical appointment is not your,
Or
it's not your, it's not
I'm
your
very
business.
sure if it was for a
Alright?
medical reason, that boss will not be so
Is there a
insensitive
wicked-
to hold on.
Hey, you guys have not
Person
met
call your
bosses,
gate.
so
He call your gate. The
you
bank
have
gate.
not
He
met
said
some
America.
crazy bosses, so.
Ah, no.
Hey, you have not met some crazy bosses. That's what you're saying.
Because I be employer,
And
me
I'm
they
telling
beat me.
you-
Me my staff beat me. They ban my gate. I go open gate.
See,
No, no,
it's
you
not
ban-
banging, it's not banging the gate because you are because he wants to come and beat you. In the
He
first
go tell you.
place, no. In the first place, you have done something ethically wrong, locking the gates and keeping people beyond.
So that they will not cause riot.
No, they are not causing any riot. Oh,
How do you
they are not
know
causing.
this?
They are not
They
causing
might
any.
have had
If they want to cause any
history.
riot, they will destroy all the goods inside the warehouse or wherever they are.
So it doesn't
Do you know
extend
that?
outside.
No. Me, I insist that in law, in labor law, if you add both of them, once you keep people beyond against their wish, you not even lock the door. You are a kidnapper.
Wait,
I am
now
telling you.
you're
That's why I said. That's why I said. Plus you,
I'm very
plus
sure
you, plus you,
you're like them.
plus the boss.
Hey, don't point to me. They will not
Plus
lock me
you,
up
plus
with
you,
this
That one
plus
is-
the boss. They should pack all of you.
Sir, that
and
one
take
is
it to
labor
jail.
law. I'm talking
I will
about
now come.
human law. You should
I'm
be
even saying-
understanding as an employee.
What is human law? What is human law?
Person want me
Ignorance
talk
of-
with deliverable.
Eh?
You
What
want
do
talk
you
say
mean?
you want go house. Person with
Yeah.
your boss, where they sometimes they go give you change. Sometimes if you
You are
everybody
talking like all bosses
Jide,
are.
Jide,
Oh,
I'm
it's
going to say
possible.
You're talking like
something.
bosses
I'm going
are
to
Father
say
Christmas.
something. Try to look at it from the angle of this person or
Mhm.
this staff would actually probably be a tailor.
Mhm.
Let me say the person is a tailor, and you know that you yourself,
You understand the nature of the
if you
business,
collect client job,
and they
you
know
dey
me
stay
talk.
overnight to do that. I think that this place, this thing comes from the place of you should be understanding.
Understand.
How you
Of
want me to
course.
say finish?
You know,
should.
they pay me for this story
You
pass.
should be understanding. And I'm also saying, as the boss, as the owner of the business, through the HR, communicate properly. All right?
There's no place in the story that says he did not communicate.
No.
I
the
can
moment-
be polite.
See,
You know what's in they pay me pass for this story?
Mm.
One come, they do hero, they do king of all of them. Your boss tell you say may you do something. I don't. What? How is it your business that okay? Yes, so it could cause issues and let her take up the issue with the boss. You now come they do AI and went to open the gate without. A lot of employees do not respect their boss. Let's even talk about that
Are
one.
you talking to the HR, right?
Which HR?
HR said don't collect stray bullets from
No,
the
I'm being serious. Your boss gave you a directive. Lock the gates. If the boss is going to be vulnerable to litigation, let it be on him. However, you've been given an instruction. Stop being
you
insubordinate.
see, it's people like you who are trying to correct.
It's not.
There's a lot, no, I'm serious. There's a lot of
Rachel, where you
rubbish
find
narrative about
Eh?
HRs. You people think HRs are zombies.
Yeah.
Like just dump things on to go and carry out. No way. All right. In this age and time, HRs are performing strategic duties.
Okay.
It is in the yesteryears that HR
Yeah.
do,
Performing
clerical work.
strategic
You
I
tell
think
them they are
I'll-
yes men.
Ah,
They are
Rachel, ah.
yes men. You tell them go and do this. In fact,
I want to ask who
you see
pays the HR?
that HR,
Wait now.
that HR that is even doing the anonymous and coming out to say let's help you. If you are watching this thing, please let's to aside. Let me
Wait,
teach you some things.
HR.
You should
That,
Let me teach you some things.
After you give him
You
job
will
in
know-
your company,
I want
You
to
will
ask
know why
something.
they call me
Give him
Oga
job when
HR.
they fire him.
who pays the HR, sir? Just one question. Who pays the
The
HR?
business.
Have you heard of this saying?
He said the
Wait, oh,
business.
wait,
yes,
He said the boss.
the business.
This man.
The same.
In the right-
Wait. I asked you a question.
see, that's the
Wait,
thing.
hold on,
That's the
sir.
thing.
Hold on, sir.
Okay,
I asked
tell
you a
me.
question. Who pays the HR? You said
The
what?
business.
The business.
Yes,
Who owns the
please.
business?
Okay.
The boss.
The boss. Now, this business is centered around meeting targets. Yes or no?
True.
The same target the boss is trying to meet by telling them to please wait beyond.
True.
And so you're now saying the HR now, in some way, faulted his plan to
Mhm.
meet up with the deliverables
Mhm.
that would fetch him revenue, which he in turn later used to pay his staff, including the HR. So I don't understand how
Target meeting most times is holistic.
So I want to.
Hold on. Target meeting most times is holistic. Which do you prefer? We meet. Hold on
Okay.
now. We meet today's targets,
Yeah.
all right? Because you want to keep me till 12 p.m. or wherever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then tomorrow,
don't
Tuesday,
pick-
hold on, no.
Hold on.
You made point and I'm trying to counter it, my brother.
Okay.
You say today is
Where is
Monday
this guy?
because generator spoil. Let's stay till 12. No problem.
Mhm.
We stay.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, I'm now fatigued. We don't meet tomorrow's target. What happens?
Tomorrow,
No,
I don't understand.
I-
This thing,
Wait
you're not,
now.
he's
I
asking me
am
a question.
saying-
He's asking me a
answer
question.
me my
No,
question.
They ask me.
Answer
They ask me.
yes,
Make
answer
answer
question.
my question.
Yes.
Okay.
Make answer.
Don't answer question with question.
Wait, nah. You said okay. they will get fatigued if they don't meet targets.
Considering
The
that
SOS now-
target is holistic.
The target, I think we are deviating from the story.
We're not
The
deviating.
reason he's asking them to stay beyond that time is to meet up with the target of tomorrow. If they stay, they won't need to have to stress themselves to meet up with the target of
Why
tomorrow because they
you
will
even
have met
fatigued?
it.
You know what's his money now?
Hey,
Thank
God.
you. I feel
now.
as much as we want to support
complete your
employees
hours now.
whenever they
The
cry
mental,
out as
the
human
mental,
resource
the
persons,
mental,
right?
the mental stress, the mental stress.
Which
Mental stress, Jen, no work.
stress?
Jen, no work. We not do anything.
You
Mental
see-
stress, how? They
you
go to
see-
play game for they go to ping.
You see,
Everybody celebrates downtime. Every employee celebrates
I can
downtime.
tell you, I
Of course.
know an organization where
Let me tell
if
you.
Jen no work like this, everybody will say, yeah.
now those ones are
That's what they do.
those ones are not reasonable employees.
Ah, can you see that?
They're not
You're
reasonable.
using
They're not
now you're
reasonable.
using the same thing.
See,
You challenge Rachel.
as much see,
no,
as much as I'm defending employees, I'm also telling you that there are employees that are not reasonable. Same way there are bosses that are not reasonable. And in this case, that boss is not reasonable. That boss is a kidnapper. You are even talking about insubordination. In what sense?
I don't understand.
Alright.
I give you a directive.
You give
No,
me a
no,
directive.
hold on.
I think it's coming from the angle that
The
the
HR,
HR has been given a directive.
a directive.
See,
So
this-
the HR is supposed to carry cane, okay?
No,
and
this-
tell them
They didn't
file
say-
in one
they
line.
didn't say
No,
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 no.
Oh yeah, be doing this thing. If you don't do it, I'm going to flog you
Hold
5
on,
strokes.
This
If you don't do it, I'm going to flog you 5.
No,
You think
nah.
you think
that's
HR
not
is
the
a
instruction.
that's the
That's
same
not
the
instruction.
same
Calm
you guys
down,
the
no
same
dey
you guys
change am,
will go
I no gree.
the same you guys will go on Twitter and say HR wetin dey sabi na yes man.
Ah, you don't
Yes,
drive.
now.
You don't drive.
Yes, now.
You don't
You tell
drive.
them say do this, they
You
will say
don't-
do am. But I'm telling you now that
From
You don't
experience.
drive. You don't go.
what are we saying? What are we saying?
So my point is in terms of insubordination, right? I'm not saying you should not have empathy. This thing could go beyond and all that. However, your boss is your boss.
Yes.
Let's understand that. My boss gives me a directive. If anything happens as a result of him not being sensitive and all that, it's on him. However, because even that act of going to open the gates in the presence of all, it will make employees come say, this one they fight for us, but our boss don't like us. You're already sending a message, a wrong message. In a way, you're portraying your boss in a very, very negative image. Let it happen. You can explain as an HR person, fine. However, don't disobey instruction. You don't do that.
Do you know, in addition to that,
I don't
you know,
I don't
you,
I don't
you know
even
what
think I don't even
say.
think the HR
You
disobeyed.
know what I would
Your
say.
HR did not
I don't understand.
disobey.
They say make you lock
Indeed,
gates.
indeed.
Look at the story. Lock gates. No open up. She go open gate for.
Against
You don't-
my boss's
Against your
instruction.
who is your
That's
boss?
what he said.
You
Hold
don't
on.
get this thing, no.
Okay,
The HR, they should be the business should be thanking HR for at least opening the door at some point.
They can't go.
You guys don't talk. Yes.
Then we know
Do
meet
you know
target.
what? Do you know what it will?
This is it. I'm going to say something.
Let
in
me tell
addition
you,
to what Jide
The
said.
first person they will pick. You know, yes, they will still
Who
pick
they will
the HR.
carry?
They will pick HR first.
Wetin concern HR?
Who log gates?
Then go
Who
pick
log
everybody.
gates?
Who log
Tell
gates?
us.
Then go
See,
pick
wait.
person wey log
Now
gates,
you they
sha.
mention
They go
law.
log gates.
Now you they mention law.
They go
This one,
pick. They go pick HR.
The wait.
I'm trying to make a
an
point. Jide,
employee.
hold
Please
on.
make your point.
I'm trying
Go
to
on.
make a point. In addition to what Jide said,
Mhm.
the only thing the HR could have done in that situation, you
Plead.
don't want to be the bad guy.
Mhm.
You want to carry out your HR job.
In quotes.
I think you shouldn't be found in that organization in the first place. As far as you're in that organization and that boss is giving you
You're an
such
accomplice.
instruction, you have advised, and the boss said he doesn't want that. If that doesn't sit well with you, this question you are asking us, I would say probably right now your values do not align with that of the organization.
Thank
So
you.
leave.
Leave.
No.
You don't stay
Before
there
you
and
leave.
become an insubordinate staff,
No,
a
before
rebel,
you leave,
because you
before
want to
leave,
be
you are not a rebel.
HR.
You are just see, that's the problem. You are not a rebel at that case. All you are trying to do is to set the record straight.
that.
You already did,
That's-
and he never
no.
took your advice.
Mhm.
The
Yes,
anonymous
the
said,
anonymous said
you
they've been
have
doing
done
it
that
Sa-
over and over
Oga
again.
HR,
You see,
Oga
I
HR,
don't know
for
Oga
the
HR,
first time.
Oga HR,
Mhm.
what is the basic function of an HR person in an organization in terms of managing relationship? Your general rule is
You asked me a question. I want to
it's a
answer it.
retical question.
Okay.
Because I know say you will take
Shoot.
us good law.
Shoot my boss.
You go take us good law.
I
I
would
don't
have
ready
given
for
you
law.
I would have given you one simple
No.
answer.
Let me tell you
The
something.
job of
Wait,
every HR.
help me.
The job of every HR.
I know
Whether
make it carry you go
ancestor HR, rookie HR, Idon HR, any HR
In the
is
end.
to make the life of every employee, including the boss,
From
No,
better,
no,
from an
yes,
angle of what? From an
of
angle of what?
course.
You're sub-
Employee relationship.
yes, and but you're in what capacity?
Employee
Wait now, wait, Rachel,
Now,
hold on.
in
In
this,
what? Wait, hold on.
HRs are business
Oga
partners.
HR, wait,
No,
wait.
Exactly.
HRs
Thank
are
you.
business
As a
partners.
business
right?
partner, what do
Wait,
you-
now.
So you see
Mother,
when you ask me the question of who pays the HR, I say the business.
yes.
You people laughed, and that is the problem of most Nigerian businesses. And that's why if you check today, we don't have in Africa a lot of businesses that have lasted up to 100 years, apart from Alabukun. Right? Yes, apart from Alabukun. That's the only business that's lasted over 100 years. And that's because these bosses think that they are lord and masters of everybody.
I get you.
So now you're not even, I mean, I shouldn't be scared to actually diplomatically approach my bosses sometimes.
Yes.
Okay? So this is exactly what we're trying to do here. If I was in that case, I would not even come out and be doing. I know the right things.
Now, I agree with what Rachel.
By now they would have picked the boss. After picking the boss, I will resign.
Ogaicha.
That's my number one
duty. You will not plan your own exit to know where you are going
to. Now, this is where I'm going to.
Yeah, some things will not change.
Rachel,
some things will not change. That's why there to carry what is not.
That's why
this is why I asked that question. Generally speaking, as an HR person, your roles, recruitment, blah blah blah, all these things, your role is still in the capacity of being an advisory to the organization. When you give them advice or counsel, do they take it? They don't take it. That's on them. And as a result of this, okay, you understand that your bosses always are doing things that are not okay with employees. You leave, like what Rachel said. It means your own goals, your own mentality, or your own morals do not align with the organization. Then you leave. But you cannot stay there and be acting as a rebel against your boss. No. The moment you are going against directly, on 2 counts, she disobeyed her boss, right?
No.
She opened the gate.
What is disobedience in your own parlance? It's not. You are not. Acting,
what is insubordination?
You're not. That's
what
the
is
problem.
insubordination?
I think you're not defining insubordination in the.
No.
Leave the rationale for insubordination.
I think that.
Leave the rationale now.
Okay.
Insubordination is just basically
going
against directive.
Okay.
In that context.
Forget why I did it, why I did not do it.
Anonymous did.
In that context.
And I'm telling you that they should thank Anonymous because
don't be a rebel to your boss.
That's what I'm saying. You are not a rebel. You're not a rebel.
We are just looking at it. It's not a point of thanking Anonymous. See, it can be picked up. The company can actually get litigations and all that.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, that doesn't still take away from the fact that he actually went against what the boss had instructed by doing what he had to do because he felt that let this guy not cause commotion.
That's wrong.
That's why he had to do that. And what I'm still saying is sometimes I still feel like it's an employee, like those employees should have been a bit more understanding. You understand that there is this task to be done and delivered. If you stay that extra 3 hours or something, it wouldn't kill you. They didn't tell us that you stayed yesterday. They didn't tell us that you stayed day before yesterday. And they didn't tell us that from 8 p.m. he asked you to work from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You knew what happened. I even think that it's your place to sympathize with your boss if you actually want to be a part of the business. Like you don't just want to do ogata, like concern me, make my salary don't complete. You will sympathize with it. You should even be the one asking, how do we make up for these lapses?
All of these things you are mentioning happens in a very good place of work. In a good place of work.
So you mean that because it happens there, that means the place is bad?
Let me tell you, hold on. A good place of work, right? Employees, whether blue collar or white collar, are advocates of the business.
I do not agree. Not every time.
Hold on.
Every employee has a tendency to be selfish.
Of course. Because at the end of the day, if the business has one opportunity to choose between employees and the business, the owner of the business will pick the business.
See, naturally.
That is
I get that. I get that. It's not even Nigeria. Naturally,
it's a general, it's a worldwide.
Exactly.
Themselves
will pick themselves. Exactly.
But there should be a balance.
Of course, there's a balance. Why are you also forgetting that there should be a balance on the part of the employer?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't happen every day.
No.
Something happened one night.
I'm telling you, the fact that it doesn't happen every day, and that day that it happened, these guys are protesting against that directive, shows that there's actually something wrong with the company. Let's even leave the manner of approach in which whatever how the directive came. I'm even saying if before that time, these people treat their staff well, nobody, maybe just a few will say, now I get things to do. But a lot of them will shoulder that responsibility.
Everybody
I disagree.
It's a
Now,
lie.
I want to say something.
It's a lie.
I think we are going too far when we're talking about just business. From even our normal relationships, you can go to the ends of the earth for certain individuals, and they will still take you for granted. I think it's a personality thing.
True.
It's not.
I've
it's
seen
not-
scenarios.
I
I've
disagree.
seen. Wait,
I
hold
disagree
on.
with that.
It depends on the
I
individual.
disagree with that.
Wait, you
I
know what?
disagree
Hold
with that.
on.
I disagree. Jide,
I can
Jide,
wait. Hold on.
your
I've
name
seen-
is
wait,
Jide,
I've-
right?
yeah.
Hold on. There's this your friend who only come to your DM, comes to your WhatsApp every end of the month to say, Omo, I don't enter wahala. Help me. I define 15K. Every
And I
end
drop.
of the month.
And I did
Alright?
drop 15K
And you dey
every
drop.
end of the month.
While there's this other friend who is always there, always checking on you, right? If that person asks for money, and the only money that you have is 15K, this your friend that is always there, asks for 15K, and this person that comes once every month asks for 15K, who will you give?
If I'm a good person.
Please answer this
No,
question
hold on. It
with
is
your
not a
church
one-
mind.
Wait,
If not, I'm going to stand up for you and walk out.
Wait.
Hey! No! Answer my question.
Wait,
Don't be,
wait.
don't, no,
Before you
no,
walk
no.
out,
Thank
you
you.
return.
So you already know.
You return at tea. No, you go walk out. You return at tea. So
Answer
my
the
point
question
is now.
with your church mind.
Now, if I'm a good person with a good church mind, I would consider that guy who's always checking up on me. That's because I have a good individual spirit. But if I'm just a narcissist, I don't care about you. I'm not going to give a rat's ass. If you like, check up
You
on
will give.
We have people in
you will
Rachel, you
give
get
that
guys for
person-
your DM.
You give
The
that
good guys.
person.
Rachel,
you see that you're not true to
wait,
yourself.
Rachel, you get
Because
guys for your DM.
even you
When they check
yourself-
up on you, when they do everything, how
Even you yourself.
and you go sit tell your friends,
Even you yourself, you
That
would have made a mental note
that
that Omo, this guy na only
See,
you
But
know
as a
say they
bad
don't pay
person-
salary.
as a
You
bad
know say
person,
they
I
don't
say
pay
that.
salary and that's why you don't come now.
guys, I'm going to say something.
Yes.
In all this, we are forgetting that this is just one employee. Why didn't others protest? If it was such, not only you girls band.
Maybe
Why did other
maybe
people's
anonymous.
husband-
Maybe
No,
anonymous.
I
did
don't
not
call your
cover-
anonymous
husband.
just one
Take on the
person.
Maybe
bandits.
anonymous did not carry
I feel
that.
like
Did not talk about that.
it's a case of one person not
There are
willing
different
to sacrifice.
dimensions to this thing.
You are
Different
not
dimensions.
the only one there then. And you will, I can bet you, I promise you, you will not die before 8 p.m. At that point, it was even 6 p.m. You had 2 hours more.
A
And nothing
reasonable
would have
rationale.
killed you.
Come on.
And you were the only one. I mean, it was only your husband that was missing his wife at home at that point. or what?
Why you
Call the
only
bandits.
putting why you only putting your husband missing you? Why are you not considering that they are actually going to the doctor?
I'm
An
saying that.
appointment.
It could be
I just
anything.
have to say
It
that
could be anything.
there is
It could
no
be-
employer.
Mm-hmm.
You have worked till 5 p.m. or something happened. I would like to say that there is no employer that will not allow you leave at that point.
Have
for
you met
medical
some
reasons.
bosses?
I don't think so.
Have you met some
I don't
bosses?
think so.
Rachel.
I know of a story.
Mhm.
Someone was going to work, had an accident. Let me now tell you how bad some bosses are. Going to work, had an accident and sprained her ankle, so she couldn't get to work on time. All right. In fact, it was one of the cases that we treated 2 months ago. Couldn't get to work on time. Was in so much pain. They took her to the hospital, so she didn't even have that time to send a mail that, hey, I'm sorry, you see what happened to me. All right. Do you know? Because yeah, she had a very important presentation to do that day to a client and all of that. Do you know that the next time she opened her mail, she was actually terminated
Why?
because she didn't say she had an accident?
When you are giving stories,
No.
be
Yeah?
giving full stories. I know
This
the
is a
story
full
as well.
story.
I know a guy
This
that
is
knows
a
a
full
guy.
story.
That knows a guy.
Are you in my story? How do you know? How do you know my story is not full? Now I'm telling you, I'm just painting a scenario, right? In the grand scheme of things, is that boss not supposed to be humane? To know that
Can I say
It's
something
know
supposed
about
that-
that?
to know that
can I say
this
at no
person-
point have you said that there was a response stating the reason and the boss still insisted?
the boss actually insisted. The girl did not work there again.
The boss insisted
That the firing was
I would like to think that
Was
there
a
are
firing
some
squad.
things
So Rachel, let me
behind
now
the scene of
let me
that.
give you guys.
the
because
problem.
I don't think
Now-
that's an you.
Well,
That,
sir,
that,
sir,
that,
There are
that's
some
not
things-
mine
okay.
there are
again.
some things behind
Thank
the
you.
boss's mind,
No,
but
no,
there's
no, no.
nothing behind.
No,
There's
I-
nothing
I'd
behind
like
the
to
employee's
think
mind for
there
taking
are
certain decisions.
underlying
and there are no
underlying
underlining
Rachel,
issues for
you
the
are an
employee
employer.
He was
trying to
just
leave
one employee
six-
out of
6 p.m.
70 people.
And I am saying that
Rachel,
that person is an
Oga-
outlier
Oga
in that
HR,
case.
Oga
It's
HR,
an
you are-
outlier.
see,
The person has something important to do.
I want to ask you a question. As,
Alright?
as an employer or
Yes.
an owner of a business,
Yes.
you have a staff who's always giving excuses, XYZ. We've seen people like this. I'll not be able to come late, come early to work today.
Did the case say this person
hold on,
always give
hold on,
excuses?
hold on. That's what I'm saying.
Don't take it out
Sometimes
of
in most
context.
cases there could be an antecedent. There could be a pattern.
Of course.
And it has gotten to here for the boss. You know what? 10 minutes. I don't even want to get. You've been giving like XYZ excuses for not being present at work. Come on, it's going to affect now sometimes. So that's why I said
You
sometimes
say,
the story may not
you
be
say
full.
let me not do law and this thing. If not,
I mean, look at you,
there's
go
a response.
Hold on. You know, for every organization,
Mhm.
they have an employee handbook. They have their policies and procedures.
Mhm.
It might have been part of their policies. Hold on, please let me land.
No.
Before you carry
I'm
on.
allowing you.
So there
Finish.
might have been something like, if you were absent like 3 times without reason or without communicating and all that, this is the consequence for doing this. And let's assume, I don't want to assume because that is somebody's story. It might be their reality. I do not actually know. I'm just trying to establish the fact that underlying issues feed
Could
on
be
day, because I don't see
contributing
how
factor.
somebody in their right senses will just wake up that because this employee did not come
Come to
one day,
Thank you.
you didn't get a warning letter, you didn't get a debit for that day, you just
should-
got straight up termination letter. I do not think
I
so.
wish I can share. I wish I
do
can
not think
share
so.
details.
I can share a lot
Name
of.
of the.
I can share a
do
lot
not
of
think so.
emails.
All
Alright.
And
So I let them cuckoo pack all of us. Eh? Let them pack all of us. Hey, you people have not met some people.
I get what you're saying. Another
don't
thing,
let some people-
let's even go back to the story for a moment. And I want to place emphasis on the role of the HR person. Sometimes as an HR person, you should be able to influence the organization.
yes,
I've seen a very toxic
100%.
organization,
Yes.
right? Where one HR person was first employed and he could not sway the boss to make some diplomatic policies. He left. And I saw another case where another HR with diplomatic reasons or maybe his own strategy could influence the boss into, okay, Oga, let's do it this way. Instead of being insubordinate to your boss, you could at least mitigate like between the relationship. They said staff are gone to another. There's a way you as an HR person can communicate to these guys that this stuff, we've been working on it for a long time. The generator issue is not the boss's fault. This is unlike him. I got shit 3 hours, I'll be 2 minutes.
Yes.
So you just coming to cry wolf and I went to lock the gate and all that. Come on.
Yes.
So there was a
agree
point
with you
on
more.
this one. On this one, I
You
agree with
agree?
you. I agree with you.
Welcome, sir.
No. That's because there was a point I was going to make. Okay. The only part that I actually blame the HR is not influencing the case.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, not being
Now,
diplomatic
yes,
enough.
not even being diplomatic,
It's
because
Part
sometimes
of your office.
we abuse this word diplomacy. Okay, not influencing the case. Basically, see, in that kind of case, that's not when to speak English. Okay, you don't speak English to people like that. Telling them just like you said. Say a lot of them now Yoruba. You speak Yoruba. Tell them, say, guy, say this they happen every day. They will just give today.
On off.
All right. So yes, on that basis, I actually blame.
And
but
you could
also-
have actually told the boss that.
But
sorry,
also,
sorry.
right? Also, there I still insist there are different kind of bosses
True.
in this our Lagos, in this our small Lagos.
True, I agree.
We have a lot of billionaire bosses. Okay. Now let's not even say okay, this person is not a billionaire and all of that. But we have a lot of billionaire bosses. You know that some bosses are very crass to their HR. They don't, whatever you are saying to them, they don't care. They don't want to even take whatever it is.
I get what
They
you're
just
saying.
take
to
I
the only
get what
time
you're
they
saying.
come to you is they just give you money and say sorry for the other time and all of that, but they still insist on
I
certain
get what you're
things.
saying.
Right.
But I think I stumbled on an article on LinkedIn, I think few days ago, where somebody was saying that HR has moved from you wanting to be listening or do back to back what the employer wants you to do. Like if it is against the ethical standard and what HR stands for the sake of your own career and for the sake of everything you believe in, the right thing to do is to leave the organization if they are not going to change. You can agree with me that there are some people that you can never influence. By emotion, that's that's what they will tell you. They will not change their stance and they will remain. They do not need an HR. I think
Exactly.
what you can do
Exactly.
in that position is
Like
to
one of the places-
remove yourself
One of the places I
from
left
that equation.
because of cases like this, right? When I was writing my resignation email, I made some recommendations and it was very simple. I said, you don't actually need HR, you need admin. Alright, people that just help you, dispense your letters.
You
Yeah.
need
Just bring a
policeman.
consultant.
Polite
You need just bring a consultant, that will help you write all your offer letters, everything, write your JDs, everything complete. Then you just get that admin guy that will just help you to sign off, give them, and
That's
you
all
don't need an HR to
HR.
operate from a strategic level. If
Yeah,
not,
true.
because there are times where HRs, right, in this age and time, you see HRs that sometimes blatantly agree with their bosses
Everything.
Yes.
in front of
Hook,
the
line, and
employees, all right?
sinker.
But then go back and disagree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Sneaky
go back
people.
to disagree and say no. They are not sneaky at that point.
Some people are
So,
sneaky.
The ones that are sneaky
Sneaky in
are
a
the
good
ones
way.
that what they are trying to do, right? In that case, is trying to be diplomatic.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just
you
showing
go
my.
back
I'm
to
just
the boss and say
going back
that's
to the
Exactly.
boss and
fair.
then come back
I get
with a
you now.
better diction to your staff to say, okay, I've gone to talk to the boss and we've come to this agreement. Instead of doing this, let's do this, and you see that people will be happy.
I'm just going to say this in some way. I know they are terrible bosses.
Mhm.
I know they are bad bosses.
Yeah.
Why I'm using this case and why I'm making an exception is because they didn't tell us that it was a lot of people. It's just 1 out of 70.
Yeah.
That's why I'm coming from the standpoint of employees should also be empathetic towards owners of business. It's not easy. In
Of
this
course,
our
it's not easy,
Nigeria
yeah.
now.
Considering the nature of the job,
Imagine that they have not had light. The boss still has to run generator and all
Buy
that,
fuel,
buy diesel,
maintenance costs.
because they cannot even use petrol in that kind of organization.
Mhm.
They will probably be burning diesel and all that. Extra 3 hours will not kill you. It's even looking like 2 hours
Since
already.
it is a one-off.
You stay till 6 p.m. I think we should be empathetic towards this thing. And I think for me, for the HR too, if somewhere is not aligning with your values, you just leave, not asking. They're gonna debit you every time. You know when they carry salary, they go out. They use your head, they carry weight to not be your own. I think that would be my own. And for the bosses too, you should try as much as possible
to listen to counsel.
counsel
Exactly.
and understand your employees.
Exactly.
If one person does not work out of 70 people, it does not kill you. I understand that you might be trying to set an example so everybody does not do same, but sometimes you just you go do at times. That's
Yeah.
going to be
HR's work is very, very hard, like super hard.
So,
Yeah, it's hard.
Conclusively,
It's
diplomacy from both ends.
Yeah, from
Employers, please be diplomatic.
So
If you're listening to this, be diplomatic.
and try and be
Employees, be
influential
diplomatic.
too.
Be
Try and be
influential positively as well.
Yeah, positive,
Yeah.
yeah.
On that note, we are going to go to our next story. But I'm sure that they are breaking people's head in comment section already. I hope mine is not one of them. We'll go to our next story right
Carry
away.
us, good luck.